Max Verstappen doesn't drive cars, he detonates them. Most drivers enter a corner thinking, what's the limit? Max enters thinking, what limit? His entire philosophy is built on a physics-defying truth. Bravery beats grip. And that's why his driving style is so violent it should come with a parental advisory. He throws the car into corners like he's in a bar fight with the apex. He brakes later than the laws of friction recommend, turns in earlier than geometry allows, and exits faster than logic approves. It's like watching someone do ballet with a chainsaw. You can practically hear the car filing a complaint every lap. Even the onboard cameras seem scared, shaking like they're trying to escape. What makes it truly badass is that Max doesn't just drive aggressively, he makes aggression efficient. He's not wild, he's not chaotic. Everything is calculated chaos. His over the limit is everyone else's I'm about to die. And even then, he somehow keeps the tires alive while making everyone behind him feel like passengers in their own careers. It's the kind of precision that makes engineers look at data and question their own education. Max bends the car to his will so completely that even the chassis seems relieved when he parks it. His wheel-to-wheel racing is worse for other drivers' confidence than therapy is for their bank accounts. He will put his car in a gap that only exists in mathematical theory, and suddenly that gap becomes real because Max says so. Ask Hamilton in 2021, ask Leclerc in Austria, ask anyone who's ever tried to defend against him on the inside line. You don't defend, you negotiate with fate. Racing him isn't a sport, it's a survival exercise. You don't plan your move, you pray your instinct kicks in before he does. Max Verstappen driving isn't motorsport, it's a documentary about fear, and the scariest part? He's only getting faster. If Max's driving style is a weapon, then his mentality is the ammunition. You don't grow into this version of Max Verstappen by doing mindfulness, journaling and drinking herbal tea. No, you grow into it by surviving Jos Verstappen, a man whose parenting style was Formula One Hunger Games. Jos raised Max with the same gentleness you'd expect from a hydraulic press. Rain, snow, a broken cart, no problem. They were racing anyway. Jos would turn up the engine power when Max wasn't ready and say, figure it out. He once left him at a gas station because Max made a mistake in a karting race. This wasn't childhood, this was pre-season testing for mental warfare. There are military training programs less intense than what Max went through at age 10. The kid practically earned a PhD in resilience before he hit puberty. And it worked. Max developed the most bulletproof mind in modern sports. Nothing gets in. Pressure doesn't register. Media criticism doesn't care. Title fight stress. He sleeps like a cat in a sunbeam. A car that's not perfect. He adapts faster than other drivers can complain about porpoising. He has the emotional stability of a granite monument. You could tell him the world is ending and he'd just ask whether the race is still on. His brain runs on an operating system designed for battle. Every race is a mission. Every overtake is a statement. Every win is confirmation that he's exactly who he says he is, the best. It's not arrogance. It's a conclusion backed by years of empirical evidence. Max treats victory like routine maintenance. When you combine insane natural talent with a father who trained you like you were preparing for a raid on the Death Star, you get Max Verstappen, a man who could be in a championship-deciding race and still look bored enough to check his phone. It's not confidence, it's certainty. Some drivers specialize, some are all-rounders, Max is both, and then some. He has the most complete driving skill set since peak Schumacher, and possibly even better in raw execution. These aren't just skills, they're weapons. Reaction speed. His reflexes operate on a different time dimension. He reacts to oversteer so early it's like he predicted the future. Half the time, the car snaps, and before you even see it happen, Max has already corrected it. It's like he's playing the race in fast forward while everyone else is stuck in buffering mode. The car twitches and Max is already 2 corrections ahead. Car control. When the rear steps out, most drivers panic. Max sees it as a chance to create art. His throttle modulation is so smooth it should host a late-night radio show. He can drift an F1 car at 290 km/h with one hand while adjusting brake bias with the other. He is the only driver who can make a car look like it has 4-wheel steering. The limit doesn't scare him, it obeys him. Watching him save a slide is like watching someone defuse a bomb while casually chatting about lunch. Wet weather ability. Rain isn't a disadvantage, it's Verstappen DLC. When the track turns into a swimming pool, Max starts driving like he's filming an advertisement for grip. Brazil 2016 was not a race, it was a masterclass in car control the FIA should include in the rulebook. Every raindrop is basically a performance enhancer for him. Other drivers start praying, Max starts smiling. Racecraft. He has that rare capacity to read a race 3 steps ahead. Tire life, fuel load, wind direction, delta management, all calculated in real time. It's why he can build a 25-second gap while discussing what he had for dinner on the radio. It's borderline unfair how much he multitasks. If the FIA allowed texting while driving, Max would run the group chat mid-race. Adaptability, understeer, oversteer, unstable rear, unpredictable front. Max doesn't care. Give him 4 wheels and a steering wheel, and he'll terrorize the grid. He could probably win races in a rental car with the traction control broken. The man simply refuses to be limited by machinery. The reason he looks so calm is because everything slows down for him. Formula One is chaos. Max Verstappen sees it in slow motion. Badass isn't just speed, it's attitude. Max Verstappen has the energy of someone who walked into the movie halfway through, already read the script, and knows exactly how it ends, with him winning. His coolness is so ice-cold it could refrigerate a paddock. He never flinches, he never panics, he never changes expression unless the car physically explodes underneath him, and even then he'd just say, "Yeah, the engine's gone, mate." His angry radio messages sound like someone mildly annoyed that a vending machine didn't drop the snack. It's impossible to rattle him. Even chaos seems embarrassed to approach him. There's no drama, no politics, no social media wars. He just races, wins, goes home, plays sim racing for 6 hours, wakes up, and wins again. Most athletes talk about focus. Max just is focus. His routine is so simple it's terrifying. Because it works. He treats dominance like a daily chore. At press conferences, he looks like he's waiting for a dentist appointment. While others talk about strategy, tire windows, development packages, Max says, "We will see." And then he sees, in P1. He answers questions like a man who already mentally moved on to the next race. The boredom isn't disrespect, it's inevitability. He's the only driver who can crash, lose a win, get a penalty, or be hunted by another driver, and still look like he's shopping for groceries. That level of mental calmness is dangerous. It's villain-level composure. And the best part, he doesn't care whether people love him or hate him. He only cares about one thing, winning so convincingly that the rest of the field questions their career choices. Some drivers discover racing. Max Verstappen was manufactured for it. He was literally born into Formula One's version of Sparta, a mother who was a karting champion, a father who was an F1 driver with the strictness of a naval commander, a childhood surrounded by engines, overheating brakes, tire pressures, and arguments about apexes. Most kids grow up with toys. Max grew up with telemetry. His bedtime stories were track maps. His lullabies were engine notes. Normal childhood, deleted from the Verstappen dictionary. His family didn't raise him for F1, they engineered him for it. From age 4, he had the instincts of someone twice his age. From age 7, he was winning everything. By the time he entered F3, he was racing like a guy who already had a decade of professional racing behind him. When he entered F1 at 17, while other kids were still trying to pass driving tests, Max was overtaking world champions. He didn't adjust to F1, he invaded it. The rookie learning curve simply didn't apply to him. His heritage isn't just racing experience, it's racing DNA. It's why he reads a race like a language he was born speaking, why he doesn't get nervous, why nothing shocks him, why he can process chaos at the speed of a supercomputer. He's the human version of a perfectly optimized setup. Nothing wasted, nothing accidental, everything performance-driven. Max Verstappen isn't talented, he's inevitable. This is the chapter every driver on the grid hates. Max Verstappen's aggression changed Formula One. Not temporarily, permanently. Before Max, overtakes were polite, respectful, balanced. After Max, overtakes became combat sports with carbon fiber. He reintroduced fear into wheel-to-wheel battles. Suddenly, you couldn't just turn in like usual, because Max might be there, somewhere, somehow, in a gap not even visible to the human eye. His elbows-out style forced the FIA to rewrite rules, forced drivers to rethink defending, and forced F1 to accept that yes, there is a category above committed. Drivers started checking their mirrors more often, not for safety, but for survival. Racing Max became a psychological exam disguised as a braking zone. His racecraft is a psychological weapon. Max doesn't just pass you, he breaks you. He wants you to know that if you leave 0.001 meters of space, he's going for it. If you close the door, he'll still find a way through the window, and if both are closed, he'll knock the whole house down. Every move he makes forces his rivals to make choices they don't want to make. He turns confidence into panic with a single car placement. But here's the twist. His aggression makes him terrifying, but his consistency makes him legendary. It's not a one-off dive bomb, it's not a reckless lunge, it's a sustained, relentless, season-long pressure that suffocates everyone. He doesn't just beat drivers, he drains them, race after race, lap after lap until they start seeing P2 as a victory. He forces mistakes without making his own. That's the final ingredient. That's the true badass energy. Anyone can be aggressive, only Max makes aggression sustainable. And now, with the confidence of multiple world titles, he drives like a man who has realized his ultimate truth. There's fast, there's great, and then there's Verstappen, the final boss of Formula One.